I was thinking about this recently. Started off my career as an IT apprentice. Someone saw potential in me and said, right, there's a role coming up. I think you'd be an ideal candidate for it. And no, I wouldn't. Because I just didn't see it. And I wasn't sure if it was something I wanted to go towards anyway. And I'm going to prove it. And that's exactly what I did. I made sure I proved it as much as I could. I'm going to make sure you succeed and I'm going to make you believe. And
team leader or team player?
That's a really difficult one.
And like for someone that loves technology as well, it's the one thing I just can never get my head around. I'll tell you now. Welcome to Life at Next podcast, Shereen.
Hello.
So you are an infrastructure team leader in cloud services,
Yeah.
right? Right, I'm glad I've got that right. Great. But before we get into that, if anyone's listening, please like, subscribe, give us a little thumbs up after this episode as well. Really appreciate that. But let's get into Life at Next podcast.
Okay.
Cool. So infrastructure team leader then in cloud services. What's that?
Oh, there's lots of infrastructure team leaders. I'm one of very few, many, so should I say. My team predominantly look after day-to-day vulnerabilities and also stuff that comes from pen testing as well from InfoSec.
What's pen testing?
So this is where they get somebody in from third party to come and do some hacking to see what they can break into our systems.
Okay.
Hopefully not too much, and to be fair, not too much last year, which was really good progress. We've done a lot to secure the system. And anything that comes out of it, my team will try and to remediate them as quickly as possible, depending on the size of the project.
And I guess we do that because every day someone is trying to hack into it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. So how did you get into that then? Like where did you go even further back? How did you even get into that and get into next?
I started off my career as an IT apprentice. So just as I was 16, worked my way up from a first line engineer to second line, kind of went across to different companies as well. Triumph was the last one I went to before Next, and then got promoted to a team leader.
Oh, nice.
I'm a bit bossy, so I do like to boss people around and get things done as well. So that was kind of one of the reasons why, but also to make sure that we've got a full working team that knows what they're doing and can meet the SLAs as well. And then I saw a couple of jobs for Next, and I thought I'd apply for them both. Got one of them, and that was for POS team leader.
What's POS as well?
We
absolutely love an acronym, don't we?
We do. Yeah,
love
so
an acronym.
POS is point of sale. So this is looking after all the stores. So providing support, IT support for them. So there was about a team of 19. There was 2 team leaders, and one of them was me. And obviously we're open from 6 a.m. I think. A long time ago now. I've been at Next nearly for 6 years.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah, till 10 p.m. Obviously, we're supporting sale, bank holidays and things like that. Just making sure no tills and servers are down.
Crucial.
So we can make sure we're still making sales.
Nice. And kind of how's that going into that team leader role, how's that shaped you in like your career? Like, how's that differed maybe from like what you've done before?
Definitely made me grow. Dealing with all sorts of different people, very different characters as well. They've taught me a lot, and I've had to learn to remain calm, making sure I'm always supporting people, whether it's outside of work or inside of work as well, making sure that they grow. So I see Support Centre and POS, that Support Centre is another team that I work for. I'd see that as a feeder team. So you kind of stay there for a certain amount of time and then you move on up to a different team. So where I saw the potential, I'd kind of push them and say, right, let's learn this to upskill yourself and let's get you moving on elsewhere, whether it be internally or externally. Most of it's internally, obviously. We want to keep everyone. So.
And is that something that you find really rewarding now?
100%. Yeah, because I like to see people around after. I'm like, oh, wow, you're doing this now. That's really amazing. And I look back and I think, I've helped them achieve that as well. So it's nice to see.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I don't think it's probably something that I didn't really start getting like the buzz from until maybe, quite a few years ago now. But it was like as the team grew, I didn't realise how good it is to see someone like overcome a challenge, grow, and then even kick on even further.
Yeah, especially when they don't see that they've got that potential as well. When you can clearly see it and they can't, and it's like, come on, right,
Mm.
I'm going to make sure you succeed and I'm going to make you believe. And I've done that a few times, which is nice.
Yeah, too right. And in terms of like what you do now then is around cybersecurity, right? How like I guess I know it's important, but how big of a thing is that? Like, just to put it into context for some people.
Well, if you look at the world right now,
Yeah.
and you look at social media, Marks and Spencers have been hit by cybersecurity attack. So, stores are down. They can't take cash. They can only take cash and card payments. Not contactless. So, if those things don't work, you can't make a sale. So we need to make sure we're always making sales. Otherwise, we don't bring in the business. So making sure that the money's coming in.
No, it's massive. It is massive.
Huge, yeah.
I think we've just done a bit of an internal we're launching an internal campaign, and it's all around kind of how everyone's got a part to play around it, because there's loads of stuff like your teams and the business does to protect next from that. Just like you've got security people protecting people as well. But everyone's got a part to play. Yeah. So, it is a massive, massive thing to take on. And I'm pretty scary. And like when you see the figures, sometimes you're like, whoa, how many people have tried?
Yeah. I mean, in a past company, I won't mention any names, but they got hit by they got attacked and we had to pay a ransom fee.
Whoa.
You have to make sure,
Yeah.
You're not storing passwords, on pens and paper, leaving your machines unlocked and things like that, because anybody could just walk by and just get the information that they need.
Yeah, because I guess it's just a gateway into the business, isn't it? That's it. Anything that's connected to our network or cloud, or with everything going to the cloud, it's a massive, massive concern. So, if you're listening to this and you don't lock, please block it. Please lock your device. Please lock your device. And kind of, talk to me more about your journey, which we've touched upon there. Like, how's that been shaped for you? Like, what do you think? What are some of the things along the way that have led you to be the manager that you are now?
I think more the people, more than anything. I think because I'm quite a loud person, a lot of people tend to know who I am just because I am very vocal, but also the people I've worked with or worked for, they've made me grow as well in myself and do things that I didn't think I could also believe in.
Like what?
So even when I got promoted to this role, someone saw a potential in me and said, right, there's a role coming up. I think you'd be an ideal candidate for it. And I thought, no, I wouldn't. Because I just didn't see it. And I wasn't sure if it was something I wanted to go towards anyway. And I guess I was in that mindset of, what do I do? And so then when I did go for the interview, I felt really comfortable. Management, especially in infrastructure and cloud, are very, very supportive. So whatever you need, they're there to help you, whether it's for your career, home life, whatever. And they just made me feel comfortable from day one, and helped me, learn things that I wasn't sure on, because although I was an engineer previously, my technical background was strong back then, but it's not very strong now. So now I'm getting the extra support that I need to sort of upskill myself to be able to support my own team as well. So,
It's good that you got that support from managers as well. Is that something you'd say is a one-off, or is it actually a thing that you see all the time?
It's been consistent since I've joined here. I mean, nearly 6 years now. So, it speaks for itself.
And do you find it doing that manager role now? Do you find it hard balance between being the manager, motivating your team, keeping them engaged, but also doing the work you've got to do? Do you think that's hard?
No, only because no, not at all. No,
Matt, move on.
No, I mean, I've got a really good team, and we're like a little family. We talk outside of work, we socialise outside of work, but they also know that they've got to do the job when we're in work as well. So whilst we may have a lot of banter and stuff inside the office, they know that work still needs to get done as well. And I try and make it a little bit fun and pick up the mood and stuff, and that helps. And we've completed a lot of successful projects, so that just shows that, you can still have some fun, but also be serious at the same time. Yeah. And I think if you're just constantly just serious all the time, it's hard to pick up the morale for the team. So I definitely learned that in many different ways, like going from just always on, because I struggle to switch off and go down that route of not being pure, right, let's go guys, let's go. Yeah. And I think, it's important to recognise when to probably just take the foot off ever so slightly, even if you don't want to, for the team.
You know, like just thinking about that as well. So that's definitely something I've picked up on, just, you know, in my role as well. And, you know, obviously you're a woman. And has that been a thing in kind of being in the tech? Because it's, you know, we've had a few people on the podcast and they've mentioned it and how it's changed.
Yeah.
And what's your take on it?
I guess when I was 16, there wasn't a lot of women in tech.
Okay.
So that was quite overwhelming. You know, you've got all the men around like, oh, I do this, I do that. And I thought, well, no, actually, I can do that too. And I'm going to prove it. And that's exactly what I did. I made sure I proved it as much as I could and worked just as hard as them to show that, you know, women can work just as hard. It's not a male-orientated environment. And, you know, I had friends that were like, oh, well, how do you find it? I'm like, it's really, really good. You know, and I get on with guys anyway, so it's easy for me. And, you know, trying to push people to say, look, it's not a scary world. It's actually really, really good, especially when you've got the right support, you know, good colleagues as well. You know, in my team, we've got 3 of us, including myself, in my team, and they love it. And I think I don't know if it helps that they've got a female team leader. I don't know. Yeah. But I just show to everybody that you can work your way up and it's not that difficult. You know, just because there's more men in that department doesn't mean that you can't achieve as well. So, yeah, it was difficult initially, but I've got a really strong head. So I knew what I wanted and that's what I was going to go for.
And do you think do you think even in those 6 years that you know, at Next as well, do you think it's heading in the right direction when it comes to that?
It's grown, honestly. Before I could count on one hand how many women were in the department, and now I couldn't even tell you how many there are now. There's that many.
Oh, really?
Which is really, really good.
Oh, that's really positive.
Really nice. Yeah,
that's massively positive. Because I think my take on it is, don't get me wrong, there's always more you can do, but I think the stereotype or the perception of it is probably still a bit older than the reality sometimes. I'm not saying it's not. That's not me saying, you know, oh, it's absolutely fine. But I think it's progressing better than sometimes some people think.
Yeah, definitely.
Still more to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got domain managers that are women now as well, which is really good to see. And it kind of gives you that hope that I could probably also work my way up if I wanted to that level as well. It's achievable. It's not just for the men.
Yeah, exactly. Right, shall we move on to this or that? So just quick fire questions. I'll just ping you some this or that, and you just give me your initial response. So emails or meetings?
Meetings.
Why?
I prefer talking in person.
Okay, I'd go emails. Well, no, I like a mix, but if I had to pick one, packed lunch or restaurant? Next head office restaurant.
Restaurant?
Yeah.
You've got a choice.
Yeah, it's good as well, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it's really good. Team leader or team player?
Oh, that's a really difficult one. I'm going to say team leader because I love my role. Absolutely love my role. But, yeah,
too right. You've got no choice on this one. Really messy office, like stuff everywhere, or really noisy office?
Oh my goodness. Messy. I can't deal with noise.
Really?
It's too much, yeah.
I think I'd go noise. I
can't do it. No. It's just too much. Go in a meeting room, please.
Phone calls or voice notes if you're communicating with someone?
Voice notes are fine. I've started to use them a lot more now than I used to before.
I can't get into them.
Yeah, it's funny, but then it's hard to sort of reply back as well because you've got to remember what they've said in that voice note. So
yeah, and then you have to replay it over and over and over again, and it's harder to do that in a certain environment.
Yeah, and not everyone's always free for a phone call.
But some people that's all they use.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how are you doing that?
I'm moving towards that way.
I make too many errors though. Like I'm literally like, is this recording? And it's recording. I'm like, for someone that loves technology as well, it's the one thing I just can never get my head around. I tell you now. Would you rather have more time or more money?
More time.
Why is that?
I just don't always feel like there's enough time in the day to do things, whether it's work or personal life as well. So yeah, if I could have more of that, that'd be good. Especially longer weekends.
Would you rather be able to see into the future, so affect your future career, or change the past?
see to the future.
That's a good one. Done with the past. Past is the past.
If I was how I am now back then, it would be amazing, and maybe I'll be doing something different. I don't know, but I like where I am right now. So yeah, it'd be good to see what's out ahead of me. Please.
Would you rather be? This will be the last one. Would you rather be the funniest person in the department? Nothing else. You're just funny, or known as the smartest person in the office?
I'm going to go with funny because I'm not the smartest person in the office. So, yeah, I want to be known as the funny one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'd agree. There's always someone smarter.
Oh, yeah.
There's
100%.
always someone smarter.
Yeah.
There's always someone smarter. Yeah, cool. Okay, so kind of taking it back to like you then and stuff. What are you looking forward to in the future then? Like what with next? Like where do you think this is going, and kind of what you're hopeful for with the brand?
Obviously, I'm hoping that we take on more brands that we've already got. I mean, we've lose track of how many we've got right now, especially when I'm doing my online shopping. But just to see it expand and do even better than we already are. I mean, every year we're doing really fantastic. So for that to continue would be nice to see. Don't want another lockdown where things aren't so great. So yeah, just for the business, just to keep doing as well as it already is now.
Yeah, no, I think don't get me wrong, it's really promising. There's a lot of, I think a lot of people look at Next and feel like, oh, they're there, but I think when you're on the inside, there's actually still loads of potential.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people might think, oh yeah, everything's done, everything's like, oh, they've sorted everything out. It's like, no, we've done a lot and we've achieved a hell of a lot, but there's still loads we can grow into. So the growth here is enormous at the moment. Yeah. And what about you on a personal level? What are you looking forward to?
I think I was thinking about this recently. I mean, I do want children at some point. So if that doesn't happen, then I'd like to work towards being a manager at some point.
Oh, wicked. Both good.
Yeah. Or if not, just keep progressing in my career right now, working my way up to be the better team leader, upskilling myself to be more technical, and just trying to be the best that I can to my team.
Nice. Well, I think that's a great place to, wrap things up. I mean, thank you for coming on.
No, thank you for having me.
No, it's been really good understanding about, everything you do, and obviously the growth and the development that you've done. If everyone's enjoyed that, give us a like, subscribe, and some positive comments as well. I'm sure Mia and Shereen will enjoy that. But no, thank you for coming on the Life at Next podcast.